Into okay.
All right,
something
let's
like
get
that.
into this interview here.
Yeah.
All right.
What things have you never thought about?
Well,
Start
until
things off
3 or
right
4
away.
years ago, I never would have thought about being in acting.
Really? How's that? How so?
I was your typical...
You watch a movie. What do you think happens?
How do you
sorry.
think
Well,
they
yes,
make them?
somebody else would be there. You know, it was
Okay.
fun watching them. I never thought that I would actually be the one person who was actually...
What were you
people
doing in your
were-
previous incarnation?
Incarnation, I was probably some rascal doing something because it keeps following me through.
By the way, we're in part sponsored by Reincarnation Instant Breakfast Drink. The Instant Breakfast Drink, for those of you who might feel like you've been here before.
Something like that.
All right, so you were just a thing. You just like a regular
Yeah,
civilian.
it just started out like we said last time I was here. I was an extra for a couple of years, got
Sure.
into doing some student films,
Sure you did.
and we just finished Love's Last Dance, which is something I never thought I'd be able to do. It was a real... Well, I think it's going to be a tearjerker. I know this is totally outside of most of what you do, so I appreciate you having me on here.
Sure.
But Larita Smith, the director, and a number of the craft and the other actresses, almost to a person, have had somebody in their family, either with cancer or Alzheimer's or some form of dementia. And this is a story where the conflict of the person, in this case it was me, having Alzheimer's, and actually I had both of them. I wanted
You
to
had
just...
Alzheimer's and cancer?
Yeah, well, I started with the Alzheimer's first. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, I started with that, going through the chemo treatments. I decided I didn't want to do that anymore.
Your character did.
Yeah, my character, fortunately.
Yeah.
Method acting is really brutal these days.
Yeah,
It
especially
is.
when it comes to having cancisers.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
But my daughter, of course, doesn't want me to stop the treatment. She wants me to keep going. So you have this conflict of the person who's going through all of this and the rest of the family. And one of the things, I actually had to do some research because I had no clue what an Alzheimer's patient actually would do. So it is interesting in the research, and then doing a little bit more, I find it one of the diseases that has an effect on so many people, but the research done on it compared to some of the other diseases and all is minimal. There's something like, I think, $400 million a year spent on Alzheimer's and dementia, but you've got like $6 million or $5 billion on, I think it's cancer or one of the other diseases. And when I found out that 1 out of 3 seniors dies from either Alzheimer's or dementia, that's a large number of people. And then when you consider the I think there's something like 6 million Alzheimer's or dementia patients currently in the United States. And when you consider how many insurances don't cover outside coverage where the family has to take over, you're talking about billions of hours where somebody has to be there. And you're talking, I think it's something like $300 billion is what it costs the people to keep their loved ones going.
Oh, that's extraordinary. What is it? Tell us more about the movie, though. When is it going to be coming out, and where can people see it, and all that kind of good stuff?
It's currently in post. We just finished the last parts a month and a half ago or so. It's going to be released hopefully before the end of the year,
Right on.
and it's going to be going into a number of the festivals as an indie.
Right now.
And I told
Is there a clip or something that's available online that maybe
Yeah.
you could look up and play a little smidgen of?
I'm sure I have it on
What's
a
the movie called
URL
again?
somewhere, but I'd
What's the
have to
movie
get
called?
Love's Last Dance. You won't find it because we haven't had it produced yet. We did have a trailer, but I'd have to get into one of my accounts and do that.
Oh, you got it
Yeah.
private. Okay.
Yeah, it was basically for those of us who've been involved with it.
I got you.
So until she actually releases it, it's kind of narrow release, I guess.
Right on. Well, was there a website or something, or a Facebook page that
If anybody is interested, they could go to my Facebook page,
Okay.
and I can paste it or post it sometime this afternoon. They just go to Dan Karras, Kairis, and look for Mr. Hollywood.
Oh, right.
And if they see a picture of an older guy standing there with a softball bat,
Right.
that's my page.
Oh, right on. All right. Well, Dan, it sounds like a great, endeavor that you're doing to help bring
Awareness.
awareness and interest in these subjects, and it's only through efforts like what you guys are doing that we're going to find out. Because obviously, the game is rigged in favor of things that have a little bit more of a sexy appeal to fundraisers. I guess I don't know why a disease as pervasive as Alzheimer's wouldn't be getting a little bit more.
Well, hopefully, hopefully people will find it entertaining enough, but the message will ring through. And I think you could probably ask just about everybody in the room, is there anybody who does not have a family member who's either had Alzheimer's or some form of dementia? You don't find too many.
Right on. Well, we're going to have to go on. When the movie comes out, you got to come back and help us promote.
I'll come
Bring
back.
some of the people with and stuff. And
I'll do
we
what I
don't
can.
mind that it's not happy-go-lucky subject matter. We're all about bringing awareness to people. I think
Well,
that's the power.
unfortunately, the world isn't all happy,
Uh-huh.
and we do have to deal with these things.
That's for sure.